Hello, everyone, and welcome in to another edition of the Fastball Sports Network. And guys, we got a show for you. We're Money in the Bank. I don't even have words for it, guys. I don't even have
Speechless.
words.
He's speechless.
I just want to say, oh, by the way, my name is Frank. I am flanked by Anthony and Mark. We're gonna bring you through our immediate Money in the Bank reaction. It is literally 9:36 right now, as we're recording this. So Money in the Bank ended maybe 15 minutes ago. Gentlemen, we're gonna get into the last match. Last, obviously, we have to save the best for last. Just want general reaction to the pay-per-view. Would you give it maybe a score out of 10, two thumbs up? Just give me something. Let me know what you thought about the entire night overall.
You're going to make us hold off our reactions until the end after what we
I
did.
got to. You got to save the best for last. I know we all want to talk about it, and I believe me, I want to talk about it. But let's just get into the early stuff.
It was a really good show. I liked it a lot. The matches were really good, quality matches, and then the end was craziness that we'll talk about.
I loved it. And honestly, I didn't even get to see the whole thing. I was at work for like the first few matches, so I caught like weirdly some of the kickoff show. I saw like the Jeff Hardy Cesaro match, and then I saw like the last 2 or 3 matches, I think. But from what I saw, I mean, this was some of the best WWE content that I have consumed in some time. I thoroughly enjoyed pretty much everything I watched.
I'll tell you what, I got to agree with you. I think every match I saw today was awesome. They were unique matches. There were no of the same finishes or anything like that. I thought it was awesome. All the talent, not just the end, not just the main show. Like you said, whole show from everything that I saw. I will say this. I did miss the opening match because it's Mother's Day. By the way, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers that are watching our video cast here. I did miss the first match because we did order food that was supposed to be here at 5 p.m. It did not get here until 7 p.m. So I rushed through Mother's Day dinner so I could watch the rest of Money in the Bank. I'm sure my mom appreciates that a lot. But anyway, okay, so let's just get right to it. Again, I didn't see the first match, so I can't really comment on it. I saw Twitter, loved it. The tag team match, the Fatal 4-Way tag team match, and the New Day retained.
So it was good. It was hectic. The four of them got a lot of good spots in. I thought the Forgotten Sons were going to win. They didn't really impact into the finish at all. The finish was fun. It was both members of the New Day got to hit their finish leading up to the win, so it was good.
I'm going to have to go back and watch that match because everything that I saw on Twitter, everything that I heard from our group chat with a few other of our buddies said that was a really fun, really good match. I completely forgot, but the pre-show, and you mentioned it before, the Jeff Hardy match, Mark, did you get a chance to watch that one?
I didn't see that, no.
Okay, the Jeff Hardy match, it was Jeff Hardy and Cesaro. I shouldn't just say Jeff Hardy. Very good, especially for a pre-show match. I mean, listen, you should expect nothing more from Jeff Hardy and Cesaro at this point. We've seen them put on great matches, but just awesome, a nice little return for Jeff Hardy actual match. This should start off what appears to be a nice run. And listen, we saw Otis get the Money in the Bank briefcase. We'll go over it later. So listen, I think sky's the limit. Anything is possible for Jeff Hardy at this point. We could see him in the main event. We could see him in the mid-card. So I think that's a nice thing.
I really liked that match. I thought they gave like a really good match. It was a long match. There were a lot of really good spots in it. Some exciting moves. We saw kind of both guys have control for long periods of time. It was a really entertaining match, especially like you said, Frank, for the pre-show. I just kind of turned it on and throw something on the background. It was awesome.
The next match on the card was MVP versus R-Truth, which turned into not MVP versus R-Truth. And in typical R-Truth fashion, I was laughing right in the beginning. And then, of course, the promo that he cut later in the night. Guys, anything to say on this match or any thoughts on this?
I got to perfect the 6-point shot.
This was actually like an effective bait and switch where I feel like they do it sometimes where it's like, oh, that really sucks. But like the way they did this, I feel like it really worked. And we might be seeing MVP aligning or managing Lashley going forward, which is exciting. You know, I'm interested to see where that goes.
MVP's always been.
That was funny. I like the little touch at the end where he goes, "Oh, I'm gonna find you, Tom Brady," and they come in and they're like, obviously he means Rob Gronkowski.
Yeah, I got the little crazy gimmick going.
Yeah, R-Truth, excellent, always is. The next match on the card was Nia Jax versus Bayley. Is that correct?
Tamina.
I'm sorry, Tamina versus Bayley. Jeez, wow. Guys, I was expecting this to be the most brutal match on the card. Getting through it was going to be rough. I was wrong. I'm glad to say I was wrong because I thought they did a great job. Sasha Banks really helped tell that story at the end.
Yep.
What do you guys think?
No, they did a good job on SmackDown, giving her credibility to make you believe there's a shot of her winning, even though we all kind of knew Bayley was going to retain. But no, it was a good, fun match. It was probably, maybe 12, 14, 15 minutes, and it was good.
Yeah, probably close to 15 minutes.
I enjoyed it. It was good.
This one and the Braun Strowman match I did not get to see. I was working during this time, so I'm going to have to go back and watch those. But all I got to say is tough loss to my girl, Tamina, and there's nobody meaner than Tamina.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this match. I thought they did a great job. Also, shout out to Michael Cole and Corey Graves, who had a little bit extra in this match, too. They were great. They had a little bit of commentary and a little bit of actual interaction, which helps. I think the WWE, I think I've seen it as the weeks go by, they're starting to really figure out how to navigate this whole no crowd situation. Things like the announcing booth or the announcing duo getting involved in the match. I think that's all great stuff. It helps the lack of sound surrounding the area. It helps. It just makes it feel like a little bit more congruent. And I think that as a whole, this show was the best show that they've put on in terms of no crowd shows yet, which makes sense. The farther we get in, the more they'll understand how to do it.
I thought Truth was great too at the beginning of the match. She said, "Oh, calm down, man, calm down." like that's the kind of thing it doesn't really translate as well when there are people screaming and yelling. Then you could just hear them. It's more of a comedic bit. Too.
Yeah, the banter that goes on back and forth, where you can kind of see that they're saying something, but you can't really hear it. But now you can actually hear exactly what they're saying. That's a good point. So after that match, we got right into the main stuff, and this is where we'll spend the majority of our time. First one, Braun Strowman versus The Fiend. Mark, take it away for us. Break it down for us.
All right, no, it was
Braun Strowman versus Bray Wyatt. I apologize, guys.
You're a little off your game right now, but no, it was. I feel like it was what it was in terms of. I think we kind of knew how this was going to go, how it was going to be teased a lot. Where they took it one step further, where he put the mask on and he kind of made Braun made Bray believe that he was back in the Wyatt family. He was joining him again. They had the Firefly Funhouse guys oh, Bray's home, Bray's back, and that was good. I enjoyed that. I was like, all right, so we'll see where this goes. I kind of knew it the whole time, all right, he's not actually doing this. I think that was important, so Braun didn't look really stupid just to immediately do it. But no, it was what it was. It was a good, fun match that planted the seeds and kept us going for now. Enter the Fiend.
Yeah,
the ones I missed. So I definitely want to go back and watch this one.
That's one you got to watch for sure.
Yeah, again, they use the puppets as a great we don't have a crowd, but we have these puppets that are talking to the wrestlers as they're wrestling. Obviously, that would be weird if you don't know the background of Firefly Funhouse.
That's ridiculous, but it works.
Yeah, that's true. I think that overall, this match was excellent, and you had said on our prediction show that this is going to be a multi-match segment, and I think Bray did a great job of setting that up. And I'm trying to avoid spoilers here, but he does say he was talking about him, and he was saying, "Oh, I told him you'd be back. I told him you'd be back," or something along those lines, basically talking about the Fiend. So I think that should be fun to see what happens when
basically
the Fiend gets involved with Braun Strowman, and good wrestling in between. Two aggressive guys. They really both were able to use their style, not really have to back off. So that was good. The next match on the card could have been match of the night on any other night because it was phenomenal. And we expected it, but Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins. Drew obviously retains his championship in what like I said, was an incredible match. And the handshake at the end, guys, not what I was expecting from Seth freaking Rollins.
No, not at all. You were talking about the handshake. You really liked that, you were saying.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. I thought it added some credence to the fact that these guys just put on a great show. I think in that moment, if Seth had spat on it, or if Mark, you said maybe we were expecting a low blow or something like that, I think it would have really cheapened what we just saw for the 20 minutes previously, which was a great match. It was a match that Seth controlled for a majority of the time. They both hit just great spots back and forth. I mean, just a couple of really brutal spots. The one in particular that I was questioning whether or not it was a botch on the outside when Seth jumped. It looked like Drew might have – I couldn't tell. He might have been trying to catch him. I thought catch him and then in one move put him through the table. He ended up kind of just catching him, resetting, and then picking up and flinging him over the table. So I wasn't sure if the table was supposed to break or not. But either way, great spots all over the place, some really brutal kicks, a couple of great super kicks by Seth. And I just thought that was an awesome match. And the handshake at the end I thought was a great sign of respect. And maybe this is not over between these two either.
So going into this, I thought it was going to be like a multi-match thing where it was going to go over for months. But now I'm really not sure. Maybe this was just a one-off because they shook hands. Seth didn't low blow him. He didn't do anything. He just kind of looked at him and he looked like, I don't know if confused or intrigued is the word, but I really wonder what Seth does tomorrow on Raw now. I really don't know where he goes from here.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to get a pickup tomorrow with Seth, on Raw. So tomorrow, if you were watching today, you would have seen the vignettes. Becky Lynch is back. She'll be confronting Asuka. It seems like every time those two go, they put on a great match. Also, we have the additions of Edge and Randy Orton. Now, I'm not sure if they're going to be doing something together, as in continuing that feud, but I would hope that they're both planning on doing something different. That would open the floor. I would love to see an Edge versus Seth Rollins, or even Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins. I know we've gotten that match before, and I'll tell you, it's never once been bad. If you think about their WrestleMania match, that was one of the better WrestleMania matches on that card. That's the one that, of course, ended with Seth Rollins winning the WWE Championship, catching in his Money in the Bank to bring it round circle. But yeah, so we're getting a pick-me-up on Raw tomorrow, and AJ Styles came back last week. So it seems like there's a little bit of momentum here heading into Raw tomorrow. Are we interested in watching Raw tomorrow for the first time in a little while? I mean, let's be honest, right? The ratings have been down. We're not the only ones.
I mean, like I said, I really want to know where Seth goes from here. Besides that, I don't really have a lot that I have to watch right now.
All right.
I mean, yeah, I may tune in. Usually I like to tune in maybe 10:40, 10:45, see what's going on at the end of the show and maybe make my exit. But I might tune in, maybe see how they started off tomorrow. So I think they're guaranteeing that Randy and Edge will be there tomorrow. Is that the deal?
They're going to be on. No one knows. They might be on webcams. No one actually knows.
Right. But it's just hopefully it's putting in either A, putting an end to that story, or B, starting different stories with different people.
Do we see any chance that they do what maybe we thought they might have and team up again? Or was there too much bad blood from their WrestleMania feud?
Probably not, but it's something to think about.
It would be cool.
Maybe too soon. It might be too soon.
Yeah.
The WWE Tag Team Division was not even represented in the Money in the Bank tonight. So, I'm sorry, the Raw Tag Team Division was not.
AJ too. I'm excited to see what happens with AJ tomorrow too.
Yes, I'm very curious to see what happens to AJ. I thought for sure when they were both grabbing the briefcase, I was like, all right, Corbin's not winning this. AJ's just gonna rip it out of his hands and fall down off the ladder with it. Or something.
Let's get into the match. Let's go through the match.
Okay, wait. Before we do it, just closing thoughts on McIntyre and Seth. Excellent match. Oh, I just wanted to say, McIntyre continues to surprise me, and it seems like he's just getting better and better again in this role. But okay, you want to get into this match? Let's get into this match. Do we want to do the whole thing as a whole? Do we want to do the women and the men?
Whole thing.
You gotta just tackle it head on.
So, jokingly leading up to this, and we mentioned it in our predictions video, we said that Mark called it the running around the building match. And Mark, I'm wondering if you were at the taping of the match.
Yeah,
because that's literally what it was.
Yep. It was really fun. It was really good. Should we just try to tackle it from the beginning, what we remember?
Let's just
all right. Let's all name our favorite moment, because I know what mine was, hands down. Although I thought I knew what mine was, and then another one came in and almost replaced it. Easily my favorite part was the food fight. When you go in, you see Paul Heyman sitting at the table, eating. He's got the whole platter in front of him. He grabs his hero. He's about to dive in. All of a sudden, He gives that look, that disgusted look on his face. He hears them all running in. All of a sudden, everybody's there. Otis picks up the full fight, and he throws it in his face. And just the hilarity that ensues. I was sitting here alone, listening in headphones, cracking up, hysterically laughing.
They all did an amazing job in that.
My favorite part of this entire match was you only knew where like 3 or 4 people were at a time for the majority of the match. Obviously, there were times where big groups, but even when the women were going at the end, you saw the 3 of them. You didn't know if 3 more were going to come up. You didn't know when.
Dana Brooks' last appearance was hitting her head on the ground after slipping on the wet floor.
Shayna Baszler didn't even make it to the rooftop, which I thought was insane. I'm waiting for her to run in after everyone's down on the ground and going up. She didn't even appear on the roof. And all the men winded up making it up, and a few of the men winded up going off of the roof, which was listen, they teased it and they did it. If you watch the zoom out camera, you could see that there wasn't really that big to fall off of that initial platform. Right. That there was actually like a lower roof. But someone got thrown. 2 people got thrown off the roof. One of them being Aleister Black, who I thought that would be Otis's spot getting tossed off the roof. But Otis wound up winning the match.
Also, honorable mention for favorite moment was AJ and D-Bry breaking into Vince's office.
That was excellent.
And not only do they have to put the chairs back, but they leave, and Vince pumps the Purell like 8 times. Yeah. That was just gold. That was absolute gold. I mean, so many good spots. John Laurinaitis made an appearance. I mean, great cameo.
That Ray talked to. Who was that?
I didn't know who that was.
Oh, that was that's like an older manager from the 80s. That was like a shtick, like I Love You or something like that. I don't know. But
and Stephanie with Dana Brooke and the fake briefcase or whatever that was. I mean, just so many good moments.
Now, Mark, you wondered why Dana Brooke was in this match and Naomi wasn't. You have your answer now.
Yeah, right? I know why now.
There you go. So, listen.
I thought it was really funny too when Carmella took the picture of her winning the briefcase.
Yeah, and
Dana with it, and then like 10 minutes later, Dana still has it on when she like shows up to the fight. She still has the picture on her head. I was like, oh. It was really good.
Yeah, with Paul Heyman, and a great spot too with AJ seeing the picture of Undertaker and having the flashbacks.
And Aleister Black does a great job of somehow keeping his mystique up, but not even coming close to winning this briefcase. Because when he kicked AJ in the face, I was like, I could do a 3-month feud of AJ Styles and Aleister Black right there.
So many good moments. I mean, but that's the exact way to do something where you incorporate the comedy, you incorporate the no fans and make it interesting and fun. And honestly put together something that was really freaking entertaining from both the men and the women.
I love the Shayna Baszler choking out Rey Mysterio and then Nia Jax and Otis both colliding on Rey Mysterio. I felt so bad for poor Rey. And that's actually, I think, oh no, he got thrown off of the building. So he actually did recover from that. But I don't know what happened. Where's the last time we saw Shayna Baszler? She got like, I just remember Nia like punching her into a room and not even like slamming the door shut to like lock her in there or something like that. That's the last thing.
Is that the last time we saw her in this?
That's the last thing I remember. But obviously,
chair.
I'm gonna watch that match back later tonight because that was excellent. That was as creative gets, and there were some good wrestling spots in it too, obviously. But just right from the beginning, when Asuka's diving off of the tower. Listen, they started hot. They knew they didn't have to like build up a crowd or anything like that. They just started hot. And then Otis dropping the weights on AJ Styles. What a creative way to use a guy that looks like Otis and a guy that looks like AJ Styles.
Dude, Baron breaking that glass wall. That was
crazy. and then the look he gave, like, ooh, that's my boss's glass wall right there.
AJ was begging Ray to help him, like, Ray, come on. Everything. And they did such a good job where, like, everyone got their moments and their spots in. Like, everyone did. Like, all 12 of them, like, really got their moments in.
Yeah, and once they made it to the roof, they really just turned it into a pretty good wrestling match. The one part I thought was weird was the Baron-Asuka interaction at the top of the ladder, because it's like someone I know pointed out, it was like, Man, just reach up and grab your briefcase. Like, you both can win. Like, there's no law saying that one person's got to go at a time.
That was weird. He was kind of reaching for her briefcase, so it didn't really make any sense. Then she knocked him down. I think it's just more like screw Baron Corbin stuff.
Right. Yeah. We had to get a reason to get him off the ladder, but still, it was like, man, why do that? Like, it makes you look like a complete idiot.
I liked the I think that has to go with the raving lunatic Asuka persona of her just yelling and screaming. So he starts climbing up the ladder, and she's just yelling and screaming because that's just what she was doing the entire match. When she got to the janitor, she started yelling at him.
Yeah.
And Dana Brooke comes running by and hits her head.
I think they had some really good moments with the ladders too. First of all, Otis stepping on and breaking the first rung was great. A couple of really brutal ladder hits with the women too. Nia Jax got pummeled a couple times. Like the ladder spots in that particular match were really, really well done, I thought.
I see we've lost Mark. That's okay though. Oh, he's back. Yeah. So let's just get into the winners here. They went two completely different directions here with the men and the women. We'll go ladies first. Asuka. I would have liked to see, like I said, on the prediction, I would have liked to see Lacey Evans win. I thought she was the best combination of kind of needing a little bit of a push and younger superstar that they could develop into like a main event superstar. But that being said, I can't be upset with Asuka. She's kind of fallen in this little bit of what's the word I'm looking for?
Limbo?
Limbo, yeah. And it seems like this is going to be good. She's going to stay relevant. Hopefully, like we said, she teases cash-ins for the next 6, 7, 8 months and really waits her time. And when she does cash it in, maybe it's not on Becky Lynch, maybe it is on Becky Lynch, or maybe it's on SmackDown. Although one of the things that Cole kept saying on the lead up to this, I don't know if he said it tonight, was that you're challenging the champion of your brand. So it didn't sound like they had the ability to jump back and forth, but honestly, that's all creative. If they want to change that, they will. They'll put them on a pay-per-view, a tough match, and they'll throw them into that fire if they want to do that. So yeah. So any thoughts on the women's side of the winning?
I was really happy with Asuka winning. She was my pick. I was really, if not Sasha, she was my pick. I really wanted her to win. Obviously, Sasha couldn't make it there. We were sad by that. But,
I thought she was going to fly in, to be honest with you.
It would have been something special.
Imagine a helicopter lands on the WWE Creative Building and Sasha just runs up while they're still in the basement hitting each other with
It would have been some spectacle. I'm just really happy it wasn't Shayna. I can't believe Shayna didn't make it to the roof. Like, she wasn't even involved in the finish. That's crazy. She wasn't involved in the finish.
It was Dana Brooke and Shayna, that right? They didn't make it to the roof, right?
Carmella?
It was Carmella.
Oh, Carmella didn't make it to the roof either.
The girls didn't get that much time.
And the girls didn't make it to the roof.
Yeah.
The girls didn't really get time on the roof. They were kind of just there for a hot minute, and then Asuka won.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what was I going to say? I think it's interesting because we're guaranteed to get Becky confronting Asuka tomorrow, right? Isn't that what they said?
Yep.
So we'll see what happens with that. That'll be interesting. But yeah, I thought Asuka's a good winner. I think you kind of hit it on the head, Frank. I was cool with that, and I was cool with the way that it finished. And we got more than a few moments, the Baron Corbin moment included, where the girls did kind of beat up on the guys. A couple different spots where there was kind of an attack. We mentioned the Rey Mysterio moment. There was something else too, wasn't there? There's something in an elevator or something like that. I feel like there was another moment where someone got kicked the crap out of them by a woman, but I don't remember the spot.
Well, the food fight was
yeah.
one.
Yeah. Well, either way, it was. They did a good job with that. They definitely did a good job showing that they were happening simultaneously. Like, it was clear they weren't bullshitting that. Like, that was happening at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we would have been disappointed if the men and the women didn't interact at all. And I thought they did a perfect job, but it was one match, but it was two separate matches. You knew you were going to have two separate winners that didn't really correlate with one another. But both matches were going on at the same time, so you got some of the shenanigans of both matches going on at the same time. I thought they nailed it on the head. And honestly, I love Money in the Bank matches the way they are, But if they ever made a return to the corporate Money in the Bank match, who knows? Like, you know, like, I think I'd love to see it. I don't know. Hopefully we get to see more matches like this in the future during this quarantine, because I think, again, Firefly Funhouse match, the Boneyard match, this match, all excellent. They're 3 for 3.
Something that we kind of talked about in the preview show is like you could never do something like this for a pay-per-view where you like had a live audience, because it would just be too cheap.
Yeah.
But I think this is something that they could definitely do on the network. Like say, hey, this is a network-only event or a network-only match. And maybe have it for like the IC title, or maybe like not a world championship or something like that. But like do these like, you know, network-only shows, or maybe just a network-only match or something like that, where you can be a little more creative and you don't need to rely on the live audience. Maybe you can do more things like that even when the audience does return. So I think you got a point there, Frank. I think it'd be cool to see more stuff like this, but definitely in the foreseeable future, we probably will get more like this.
Yeah. Okay. So this is what we've all been waiting to talk about. So let's just get right into it. First off, I have to apologize to Otis because I said there were only 4 men that had a chance of winning this match. None of those 4 men won, and one of the men that I didn't think had a shot, I thought last place. I thought they would give it to Rey Mysterio before they gave it to Otis, and that's me being completely honest. Like he was 6 out of 6. I bet the betting odds for him. I didn't look. I wish we would have looked, because you can bet on WWE. For those of you that don't know, you can do it. I'm sure our degenerate gambler Anthony Romano has bet on. No, I'm just kidding. He's not a degenerate. he goes. I'm still in it's like some type of shock. I'm not disappointed. I'm not happy. I just don't believe it. You know what I mean? This is such an outside the box choice by WWE. And listen, there are going to be people out there hating on this, but we've spent time asking WWE to think outside the box.
Not
they
like
did
that.
it.
Not
they
like
did
that.
it. Go ahead, Mark. Go ahead.
I was saying for like the hours leading up to this, for days, for weeks, like using this last spot on Otis would be such a waste, where he's not going to win. It doesn't matter. Like he's just he won. For me, like they have this joke with him and Mandy going on where like it probably should have blew over and ended at WrestleMania. It didn't. It's still ongoing, and you can only take a joke so far, and this is way too far. Where
what if it's not a joke, though? What if they see Otis as a serious...
It's a joke. He's going through the cafeteria eating stuff.
And that's a good point, Mark. Like, he was by far the biggest joke of the entire match. Like, he had the most comedy spots. Like, the whole food fight was built around just him being fat. Like, he had the pie in the face to Laurinaitis. Like, the whole thing was about him being just this fat doof.
And the way he won, the way AJ fumbles in and lands in his hand, it's just like, oh yeah. No, like I know what you're saying. Like, like applaud them for outside the box, trying something new, like giving someone else a shot, but it was the wrong guy.
He's not the type of guy that we all said we wanted to see. Someone that can hold on to the briefcase, use it as, you know, a prop and a way to build up their character. What is Otis going to be? Otis is Otis. There's no, you really can't develop Otis into anything more than just a fat doof who, I don't know, I guess does the worm and smothers people.
Was he going to cut a promo against Braun and be like, I'm going to take your bet? Like, it's stupid. There's no point that they're doing this. He's going to be the first ever to
I wonder if they'll do something where maybe he puts the briefcase on the line and ends up losing the briefcase to somebody else. But then it's just like, man, what was the purpose of the match? You know what I mean? Like, just put it on.
Well, listen, the purpose of the match, or at least him winning this match, it's got buzz. Because I'm genuinely interested in what's going to happen with this briefcase. We said on the kickoff show that there was a high percentage of people that have cashed in the briefcase and won their match. So I will pose this question to you two. Do you guys realistically see Otis holding the WWE Universal Championship, the big blue belt on SmackDown?
No. So he has to cash in on either Braun or Bray. There's just no scenario where that will ever happen.
What if they beat each other down in some type of very bad match. All he's got to do is run in, cash in, and cover.
Dude,
That's the money in the bank.
I don't even know this is music. Like when his music hits, I won't know like what's happening. It's just like it's so dumb. The whole thing.
It was also just really weird, and I made the comment to you guys in a text. Like, I think when Asuka won, Michael Cole's like pre-recorded narration hit, and it was so generic. It was like the video game. It was like, and Asuka comes away your winner, and it was just like, man, like that sounded so cheap. And like even with Otis, like the ending of the show just felt so abrupt. It was like, all right, he wins, and here's a picture of them two, and thank you for watching. Here's our show that we really want to promote about The Undertaker. And it's like, I felt like maybe they could have done something more when, I don't know, maybe not give Otis the mic, but like, I don't know, maybe set something up, or I don't know, maybe not. Maybe what they did
like,
fine, but it felt
Mandy.
weird.
I'm stunned. I'm stunned they didn't go to like Mandy, like celebrating or something, just to like keep that nonsensical thing going. It's a waste. That's what it is. They're going to use this. It's going to be a prop. It's going to be like a funny thing. It's not what you use the Money in the Bank briefcase for.
Now that he has it, you cannot rule out a world where he becomes the Universal Champion, right? I mean, like, I guess anything is possible, and all it takes is for Vince to say in the back, all right, he's going over tonight. He's cashing in after that match, and he's going to do his worm and elbow somebody, and that's going to be it. Ding, 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 championship. So I don't know. I don't want to completely kill them for this. I do agree with you to a certain extent. I think if they wanted to push young talent, Aleister Black is just sitting there. They could have kept Apollo Crews in this match and given it to him, but they went with Otis. Now it's their job to make me believe that he could be Universal Championship if that's the route they do intend to go. And if they do intend to take the briefcase off of him, well, then I hope they give it the briefcase to somebody cool and not Dolph Ziggler.
Baron Corbin.
Dolph Ziggler.
Baron Corbin would have been a better winner. 100%.
I mean,
easily.
I don't know if I agree, but
it's
what if in a scenario where tomorrow night Corbin, AJ are mad that they got screwed out of the briefcase, the fumbling, whatever that happened, and they challenge Otis to a triple threat match for the rights to the briefcase, and someone else wins it.
It's true. This might not be over. Like, this might.
AJ's on Raw. That's the only issue. But it could happen. Corbin could potentially do it. I don't know.
AJ could easily cut a promo on Monday night complaining about Otis being the winner. They could have Otis there. They could have AJ show up to SmackDown on Friday. It's not out of the realm of possibility. For right now, Otis is the Money in the Bank. Is Mr. Money in the Bank, I should say, which is not a sentence I thought I'd be saying. Listen, you want to talk about shock value? This was a 10 out of 10 because I am still shocked.
I'm not going to let the ending and the result overwhelm my enjoyment for the match as a whole. I thought it was great. I thought it was a lot of fun. We don't know, like you said, I think Frank had a good attitude. We don't know what's going to happen. We'll see what happens with it. And I don't know. I think it was just a really enjoyable time watching it. It gave you something to – it's back-to-back pay-per-views that they kind of really hit the right mark without having fans, and they put together something that was fun to watch.
It was a really good, fun match. Just the ending just took a lot of the wind out of my sail. Like seeing the briefcase fall into his hands, I was just like,
kind of anticlimactic.
Okay, all right, we're doing this. It was similar to the WrestleMania ending with when Morrison fell down holding the belt, and I hated that. And they kind of did it again in a different way. I don't know.
There's only so much you can do with the fumbling or the he almost got it. Oh wait, it fell into someone else's hands. It's gonna look the same every time almost.
Okay, so here's the thing. Here's the thing that really blew me away. I acknowledged when I was watching, that Otis was standing on the ground just watching this. I'm like, oh, that's so strange. He's just standing on the ground watching this, and never once did I think, oh, like he could like just grab it out of their hands or something like that. Like I was just like, he lost. And then I just see it happen. But AJ had it. Like they're gonna play AJ's music, and he's gonna feel gypped or something like that. And then you just hear the clank of the metal, which by the way is the beginning to Otis's theme song. And you're just like, oh, Okay, they went with Otis.
By the way, Elias showed up and hit him with a guitar.
He
Okay.
was just hanging in the WWE's Performance Center.
That's true. Yeah, I guess we have to discuss that, or at least bring that up. Like that was the reason that Otis won, basically.
Corbin beat him up like a month ago and wrote him off TV. So I guess that's his revenge against Corbin. It doesn't really work.
He's randomly there, like he
shows up. No, it doesn't really work. I'll tell you what, Tucker's done. The heavy machinery Tucker. Bye. Tag team's over.
Especially if Otis gets that belt.
It was already Mandy, and now it's the briefcase too. He's gone.
They're gonna need extra chain link on the belt to get it around Otis, I think.
The big man.
He's a big guy.
I can't believe they did it. I can't believe it. Crazy.
I think with where me and Mark differ in our reactions is I just am so interested to see creatively where they go next, and it's usually disappointing, but like sometimes they pull out like a big surprise. So like when there's a big surprise, no matter if it's good or bad, I'm kind of genuinely happy. Mark like just wants things to go like a certain way, and he feels so strongly about it. But hey, you gotta love the passion.
We'll see what happens.
Mark, any last thoughts, bud?
No, it was a really good, fun night pay-per-view. I think it was better than it had any right to be because of all the circumstances and the card in general. It was just, I just don't like Otis, Mr. Money in the Bank. That's my beef.
So let me ask you guys a question just to close it out. Money in the Bank 2020, the best pay-per-view we've seen in 2020? Royal Rumble, WrestleMania have already happened in 2020. Trying to think what else. There was whatever the middle pay-per-view was. And we had a few Saudi Arabia shows, if you count that. I think one. So
probably by default. I don't really remember. Was the Rumble like amazing? I remember McIntyre. No, it wasn't.
Rumble was the Edge return. So
Brock got the first 20 guys, and then Drew got the last 10. It was whatever.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this one. I mean, I watched the Rumble. I don't know if I watched any other part of that pay-per-view. I watched pretty much the whole thing of WrestleMania, but I just had the most fun watching this match. I thought they did such a good job with it. As good as the WrestleMania like pre-tape matches were, I think this one probably was better than all of those. And not to mention you throw in that Drew Seth match as an actual good wrestling match in there. I thought that takes this one over the top.
Yeah, I got to agree. So I guess that's going to do it for us today, fellas. Yeah. All right. So I don't know what the next pay-per-view is, but that's probably the next time you'll hear from us, unless we could think of some other creative, fun way to get on for WWE. But in the meantime, we might have baseball starting back up. We might have the NBA and NHL starting back up. I don't know if we'll do anything for the NHL, but we'll certainly be back if the NBA decides to start back up, because we're going to need a whole different playoff preview depending on what the status of that league is if it does start back up. So we're hoping to get there kind of soon. It seems like the league's kind of moving on, so hopefully you'll hear from us, not just in a wrestling capacity, but otherwise. And, if you like the video, please give us a like, subscribe, do all the fun stuff. Leave comments down below, maybe if you want us to talk about something else besides the things that we've already talked about. And thank you again, Ed, for coming on. We hope to see you again soon.
I'll be back.
And that's the Fastball Sports Network for you. Have a good one, guys.